All right, crypto dads and all you budding investors out there, welcome back to Dad's Gone Crypto. Today, we're not just talking about some old project. Oh no, we're diving into the world of community venture capital. And who better to join us than two amazing guests for Intrepid Innovations? We've got Michael, the brains behind the operation, who's been in the tech and investment game for some time. And joining us, Shawn, a former military man who's traded his sergeant stripes for crypto coins and is now leading the operations with discipline and grit.
Yeah, I heard Shawn still shouts, "Sir, yes, sir," at his laptop when he logs in every morning.
That's how we do it.
No, but seriously, we're here to unpack their journey, what they've built with Intrepid, and how they're trying to level the playing field for the average Joe to get into exclusive projects. So welcome, Michael and Shawn.
Thanks, guys. Glad to be here.
All right, guys, and before we get going, we've got a little surprise for you. We've got a potential airdrop, but you got to listen on till the end of the show, and we might just drop you a awesome nugget, but we're not going to give it away just too soon. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share it with all your friends, and let's get cracking. So, Michael, let's start with you. You got a background in biotechnology, engineering, venture capital, which is kind of like the trifecta with crypto wizardry. Tell us what pulled you into the world of crypto, and what are some of your highs and lows of your journey?
Awesome. So what pulled me into crypto? Back when I was in college, I ran across an article, and you hear most stories where people say, "Oh, I didn't care about this crypto thing at first," but the moment I heard about Bitcoin, I actually immediately went down the rabbit hole because it was. Well, the presenter did a good job at selling the idea, the guy that was talking about it. And this is back in the day, like when Bitcoin was like very small. When I heard about it, I was like, what was it that first got me? Well, I remember, because it's been like 12 years. I remember that they were saying how a breakthrough had happened in digital technology and money on the web, and when I went down the path of learning about it. Well, let me just describe it this way. It was very difficult to get, but when I interacted with it, it was easy to use. So I had to send money to Australia and then to Japan to get Bitcoin, to send money across the world. And that took about 2 weeks, right? To play with this internet money idea that someone was talking about, a breakthrough in money. And when, I'm sitting here watching it, reading about it, understanding it, for 2 weeks. And finally, I get it, my money in the Mt. Gox, and I withdraw my Bitcoin, and now I can send it to anywhere in the world. And that's when I've been in cryptos ever since then. So that's why I built my whole career around crypto, because I understood at that moment how big this was going to be. Because you could send value to anyone in the world, anywhere, and it's programmable. So the moment I interacted with it, I was obsessed with it. And I've been in the crypto space this whole time, and investing in Bitcoin early, Ethereum, and building my life on crypto. Eventually, I'm going to go into biotech, but that's what pulled me into the crypto space initially.
And Michael, could you just tell me some of your highs and lows on your journey?
So, like I said, I've been in the space for a while. So there has been some highs and there's been some lows, right? Like where I've made mistakes on investment picks, or where I didn't take security as important as I should. So if anyone is watching, if you're new to crypto, one of the most valuable lessons you can learn, try to just learn from me, right? Don't make the mistake of not taking security serious, right? Like if you want to get into crypto, you're going to have to take security serious. And so at one point I was hacked and someone took $80,000 from me. So could you imagine seeing $80,000 being drawn from your account? So, that's because I wasn't using a ledger, and I wasn't, if you store your crypto on, some wallet on your phone, whatever, don't do that. Just store it in an account that's held by a hardware wallet. Take security seriously. Use multi-sig, things like that if you get higher amounts. But that was one of the mistakes there. And then also another low, it's not really a mistake, but it's a low, is, you go through these market cycles. And I invested a huge amount of my net worth in Ethereum when it was like, it was like $22. I put a lot of money. And then there was something called the Ethereum DAO hack. And so I went through the low of that situation. It was way back in the day when Ethereum had like 30% of its portfolio in this entity that was the first DAO ever. And it got hacked and drained. And and there's a whole drama with that. So this is crypto history right here. And you saw the price go from 22 to like $5. But that's where I actually doubled down and bought more Ethereum and averaged my Ethereum way down to like $7 or whatever, and because I was like, I had conviction and I knew that this technology was here to stay, and what Ethereum is and what crypto is going to stick around. And so I had that patience, and I didn't let the negative prices or those things affect me. But it was a low because you're challenged on your beliefs. It really challenges you on your beliefs. Crypto will do that, but it also makes you more resilient in your beliefs and really understand what you're doing here, and you build up your resilience and trust in yourself and things like that. Even though you're going to get punched in the face, you walk away, learning from all these experiences. So it's just a valuable journey, highs and lows, and eventually you get to your objective.
Yeah, absolutely. So you started out investing and didn't stop there. You went all in and built a community first project like Intrepid. So mad respect there. Excellent.
Yeah. So Intrepid's beginnings were like, I eventually just started doing a content describing the technology of crypto because I'm a technology enthusiast. I'm just enthusiastic about technology. I research it all day. It's just one of my passions. And so I had a community and I was putting out channels. I said, what I'll do is I'll just start documenting my research. And so I'm going to research these projects anyways. So I just started putting it online. And that's where I started getting a following because I would break down the entire project, showing all the different components. And we started getting Patreon subscribers, and then the community started growing. Then I made a token, which allowed for token access to the Patreon. And then now I built a bot that uses analytics and math to analyze crypto projects. You do some research and it finds the patterns and it says find the correlations, and that's one of the products that we offer, as
Very
well
cool.
as our latest thing, which is the VC component, which is
Michael, we'll get onto that in a little bit. But before we get there, Shawn, over to you, sir. You came from a military background, which is, can you tell us and describe, what was your daily, scenery, and what was your daily background from the military side of things? And how did you transition from military to crypto? It seems very weird, right? And now, of course, you're obviously manning the stations in crypto. And tell us a bit more about that as well.
Absolutely. I spent 23 years in the military, and I just recently retired in 2023. And 17 of those years were spent in the capacity of a recruiter. So a couple of my highlights in my career, I was the top recruiter in the nation for the United States for the Florida Army National Guard for 2012 and 13. And, those experiences, I was able to learn work ethic, being laser focused, and all the intangibles that make a successful venture in general, for the principles of success are universal anyway. But, fast forward a little bit, I did a good job. I got promoted and eventually reached the rank of Command Sergeant Major. So that was my last position here in the state of Florida. And my job at that point was all about research, evaluation, of course, a lot of communication and leadership, anything it took to accomplish the mission of bringing more folks into the military to keep our, country safe and stuff like that. That's what I was laser focused on. And, my first crypto opportunity, which I took advantage of, was when one of the friends of the family came and when I was focused on my 9-to-5 approach to life back in 2012, somebody came and said, "Hey, you ever heard about Bitcoin?" And I said, "No, and I'm not really interested because right now I'm focused, And I wish, and I learned a valuable lesson from that since then. When you have that instant reaction that you're not really interested, check it out sometimes, because you never know what's down that rabbit hole. And but that would have been a golden opportunity to be, more in line with how Mike experienced crypto. But long story short, eventually I had a second opportunity. We got locked down on COVID, so we had to uniquely work from home like everybody else. And one thing led to another, and I started having more opportunities to watch YouTube videos. And I bumped to this project called XRP, and that's a lot of people's first experience in crypto. But I got really intrigued, and I went down to that new world of crypto, and it was no looking back. I just like, man, this is just amazing. And I would, and one, I've invested in like Cardano at the time when it was like 1 or 2 cents, and the Gala games when it was like below a penny. I was just like, checking out all these cool projects. But at the end of the day, before I retired, I was like, I love crypto, and I want to make this my lifestyle after I get out. So thankfully, I'm already in a position where I'm retired, and I can stay laser focused on crypto at the same time. And through just networking and bumping into cool people like Mike, I was able to take the skill set that I built up over the years, the research and all the knowledge, and transpose that to what I do now as operations for Intrepid Innovations. And so that's kind of how I got started. It's just putting in good old fashioned work, and also staying focused on my military career at the same time.
Oh, that's great. All right, so we've got the origin stories. Now let's get to the main event, Intrepid Innovations. Michael, what exactly is Intrepid? Why do you think there's a need for this type of community venture capital in the crypto space?
So basically what it is we offer an edge. That's the goal is as a product is the edge. Whether you're buying something on the open market, or you're getting early stage access, or if you want to be part of the community, which is people that are like you who are looking for gaining experience in the crypto space. They want to avoid some mines in the field. They want to talk to other people. You're going to see, oh, watch out for this website. All those kind of things, collaborations, and business starters. We have people that are launching their own businesses in the real world and in crypto. So basically, it gives you an edge. In investing, you need to have, asymmetry, right? Like you need to make asymmetric bets. You need to have an edge, and you need to have patience, right? So those are the formula for being successful. And we offer the edge component. And the way we do that is we have 25 tokens for a tier 2 membership and 250 tokens for tier 1. Each tier has different benefits. If you have the tier 1 membership, you get access to all the communities, all the reports. We have the bot, which is the analytics of the open market. And it's a bunch of mathematics. It runs on the back end, and it just gives you outputs on what are the math-based picks for projects on the open market. And then also it gives you allocation for seed rounds. So you get a guaranteed allocation, which is 26,000 allocation for each seed round that comes up, 26,000. And tier 2 gives you a $2,600 guaranteed allocation for each project that comes up. And there's no obligation to invest in those, but you get a whole breakdown of all of we do the hard work of screening. Like we do like all the work of, making sure this isn't a scam, meeting the team, doing the real world meeting, ensuring that this is real, the products, the market analysis, all that stuff. And then we just present it to you with our breakdown. And so that you could just, no obligation to invest, but if you like it, you can throw in and be part of that edge because, we have that screen, you have the community, and then you have the analytics. So you're in a position to take, to have that edge component of investing.
Excellent.
There's one thing I think that the community also needs to understand is that in crypto, it can be a very lonely and scary place. And you're often hearing, I've just made this money from a friend and you should invest in this and, you should put your money there. And most of the time you're late to market. Most of the time the information is probably skewed and you're going to come on the short end of it and lose your money, right? So the power of a like-minded community means that you're in a safe space. You choose to participate or you choose not to participate. You choose to watch or you choose to get involved. And now if you have a gated community with the right type of people that are similar to you, that want to try dabble but not too sure, that needs a bit of guidance, needs a bit of support, this is the power of a private community. It's not open to a mass public where you have so many people just chilling their own projects and posting things that they don't need to. You actually have a support structure. And provided that you participate in a humanly way, a fun, friendly way, you'll get that feedback back, and you'll start to find friends. We've got a few groups ourselves, myself and Ryan, and we've met a lot. I've met Ryan through a private community, and you just trust that person a little bit more, but then you get to know him a bit better, and then of course then you make your decision whether you are going to start a show together. So that's the beauty of, I think, Intrepid, is that it's gated for a reason, to allow not just anybody in, and also for that like-minded. So just understand from a private community point of view, that's also one of the perks of which they offer.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be important in the future too. But I've met friendships in our community, from people coming in. But also one thing to consider is you're going to have to be in a community like this, some kind of gated community in the future. And the reason why is where AI is going. Eventually the web's not going to be trustworthy, and there's going to be all kinds of factors trying to convince you of whatever mindset someone's trying to make you have. But if you're being influenced by real people, which is token gated, some kind of gated mechanism, you'll know you're dealing with real humans instead of AI. So that's where things are going to go. So you're going to have to be a part of a community at some point.
Right, and that brings us to our ideal type of person to be in the community. We're better suited for the seasoned investor. That seasoned investor that's here through the bear market, the bull market. They just love crypto, and they love to talk about different projects. And like I say, the community is the key, and because you don't want to do crypto by yourself anyway. And but you're absolutely right. That's what all of our experiences. We meet so many people, and we have obviously members around the globe. We got people in China, we got people in Japan, we got people from Australia, South Africa, you name it. They're in our community. And you get to meet some cool people and have, cool experiences. So spot on.
And just for a clarification point of view, your community is open to newbies that are actually wanting to give it a try.
Oh, absolutely. I put out videos explaining beginner steps because, it's for anyone who wants to come into crypto, and we'll help you. That's actually one of the best things that can happen is if you want to come in and learn, you come in our community, we're going to help you with every single step in the journey. Make sure you don't make the mistakes we've made, so that you'll accelerate your rocket faster. Absolutely.
So we talked a little bit, I heard you mention, the token gated community. Shawn, can you give us a quick breakdown on how Intrepid actually works with that? How does it operate?
Yes, the token is what powers the entire experience in Intrepid Innovations. So if you own, like we kind of touched on earlier, if you own 25 tokens, you get $2,600 in allocation into a seed opportunity that we provide. And then if you own 250 tokens, which is our highest tier, then you're going to get access to $26,000 in seed allocation on a project that we vetted thoroughly and brought to the community. So that's one of the main things. And then we also have other aspects like we touched on, and Mike could probably elaborate more, which is the AI bot that helps with picks and things like that. But at the end of the day, if you ever heard of a project like Seedify, just to do a comparison, if to get $2,600 in allocation on a similar project, you're probably going to need about $10,000 to $15,000.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to take those tokens and stake them just to have a similar experience. So that's one thing. And then also just to do a comparison, because everybody knows about Seedify, if you've done research, $26,000. If this math was done probably 5 months ago or so. I did it just to do a comparison, and you're gonna need about over $100,000 to get a similar experience to what holding 250 tokens can give you. And then the last thing I would point out is, being that, outside the United States, the investors in general, this is what I love about our community. It gives you a seat at the table, and you can experience seed investing without having to come in with $50,000 just to get into a project. Just to, we again, 25 tokens, what, $115 or so. That and then 250 tokens might cost you a little bit over $1,000, and now you're getting high-end exposure, but at the level that you're comfortable with and not having to come in with the elite that have to consistently 50 grand, 100 grand, and so on. So that's what I really love about the token aspect. But Mike, I'm sure you might want to.
Yeah. I mean, in most investments, like in VCs, like the minimum is like 50,000, right? Like, it's like some amount that no one has. So like, or like very few people have sitting around. So our minimum is $500. So anyone could throw that into some project just to see how the experience goes. So that's one of the big benefits of doing it this way. And also, it's no real cost, because you can sell the tokens if you don't like the service. You're still going to get access to your previous seats. So you want to ride a few seats, buy the token, do a few seats, sell the token, and you can still access your previous seats. So that forces our alignment to always offer value, because there's no real cost if you can buy the token and sell the token. So it's just access.
Yeah.
So that's part of the formula.
That's excellent. So it's not actually a staking platform. It's token gated, where you get into the community if you're holding the token in your wallet. You're not actually staking it somewhere.
Yeah, that's it. You just hold the token, and that keeps us aligned. And the reason the token appreciates in value is because we have revenue, and we take the revenue, we buy and burn the token, and that allows token holders to be part. That we want community members, right? We want to all grow together and meet each other and thrive together and be high. Like the long-term goal would be for all of us to be highly successful club, which is, a club of like-minded people that are very good at what we do. And, you'll learn along, and anyone who's still new can still come in and become part of the club and learn and from the experienced investors and quickly go there. So that's the design of it. Yep.
Perfect, guys. And as of this recording now, the token is just over $5. So 25, I think it'll be about $125, if that's not mistaken. And 250 tokens would be about $1,250, which is incredibly affordable. If you think about during a bull market, all these launch pads go super crazy, and you need ungodly amounts of money just to get in, and then you still need to fund it. So it's very interesting, an approach that you guys have done. I've seen guys that have done it with NFTs. I've seen, obviously some guys that you have to pay a monthly subscription, but this is a very interesting model. And let's talk about security. Let's talk about, what everybody's thinking. Okay, I go buy my 25 tokens. I'm in the community. I'm watching from the sidelines. I'm about to dabble. Now I give my money to you guys. What stops you guys from taking my money and moving to a tropical island and having mojitos on me?
Nice. Well, we're registered in the Marshall Islands, the legal entity there. We have lawyers there.
So you own your own island. Not yet. Okay.
Yeah. And we're all transparent with who we are. We don't want that kind of bad energy. Actually, one of our analysis on the bot shows a high correlation with successful projects with public teams. So if you're ever going to invest in a project, one of the data points that sticks out is it says a public team is it's nearly 10 times more likely to be a performer than a non-public project. So that's just an interesting tidbit. But we're all public. Our faces are known. That kind of thing. So everything's on the blockchain.
So run me through a typical scenario. So your community you raise $50, just say $100,000. You get into a project. That money gets allocated to the project. The project will, in return, in increments, give you tokens back. God forbid you guys get hit by, we won't say hurricane, but let's say a bus, and let's say half the team is wiped out. Touch wood, but I'm just using a hypothetical here. What happens then? Where does the tokens go? Who's in charge? How does the tier structure work? Can I still access my tokens?
So we distribute the ability. It's multi-sig. So we're going to do the ability from multiple team members. Hopefully half the world doesn't blow up, because most of our team members are in Florida. So, but we all leave when the hurricanes come. Except for Shawn, who stuck around in the last one. But that's the way. Like, if I'm hit by a bus or whatever, hopefully not. But some of the other team members still have access to be able to distribute the tokens. So the way it works is gather the funds, and then we give it to the project team. We have all the accounting for it, all the accounting software, and then it shows who's getting what based on their, the interactions in the software, and then it goes up to a Merkle, which is a Merkle hash function, which is a claimable, like you send the balance and it signs with a Merkle hash, which is, it takes a hash derivative of all those accounts and then distributes to everyone, or they can claim it. So that's the way, there's services that offer that, and that's how you distribute.
And that was one thing I was a big stickler on as we were forming this, not having any single point of failures.
Yeah.
That's the way we remember that. So he just gave you the technical side, and that's the bottom line right there. So it can't just be all Mike, can't just be all me, we have a team, we have smart contracts, we have technology. So we're just going to continually evolve that, so that, because that's the most important thing, making sure people get vested their tokens. Our top priority is character-based approach to crypto and making sure people get treated good experiences. And the most important thing we can do is make sure they smoothly get their vested tokens in a timely manner and things like that. So
that's excellent. So I, hearing a little bit about you and everything you're doing here, it sounds like you're a little more than just raising capital, right? You're more than a VC. Can you walk us through maybe like the three main services that you guys provide, and give us a little detail on some of that bot information and that kind of thing?
Okay, so we offer a bot, which is, the analytics. We offer community, which is token gated, and that's also protection in the future from AI, because AI is going to, take over the web. So if you're in some kind of screen or whatever, that element is going to be important, especially more in the future. It's going to go that way. And then the VC component, and that's like screening. Like, you can think of us as a screen for many of these projects, because we put in the work to get rid of all the scams and to hone in on the winners. So at the very least, it's like a huge screen to get rid of, like if you're sifting for gold, it gets rid of all the junk, right? So the bot, the community, which helps with all those things, and then the VC component, which is we screen those as well. That one's going to be the most work, human work, like meeting teams in the real world or whatever, to see the character of the people, see the product, see and pick the best seeds, because there's a bunch of them always going on. So you want to pick the highest quality, highest ROI probabilities. And so those are the three products. And basically, it just goes back to what I said earlier, like just having an edge, right? You want asymmetry, an edge, and patience. And patience is very key too. It takes like 2 years in many cases for something to do extremely well. And many of my investments, they didn't do anything for 4 or 5 years, and people are constantly asking, "Oh, how's this investment doing?" But then, for instance, one of the ones I did was Telos, and it was 100x but it just happened over after 4 years of nothing. So that's what happens a lot. So it takes patience. You got to wait for the team to deliver. It takes time for stuff to happen. So, but that's basically the structure. The bot analytics clarifies, picks projects for you in the open market. Community help people experience. They've seen things before. They've hit landmines before. They tell you about their experiences. They help you see opportunities and risks. And then finally, the VC component: get in early. Get in before, you get in when it's hardest to get a project is usually when it's most valuable too. So high quality projects early and pre-screened, and so that's basically the gist.
Absolutely.
Very, very cool. And this bot that you've been working on, how long have you been working on the bot that obviously crunches this algorithm? Because you were mentioned when you started, you did it manually. Now you kind of put this all together where it spits out this almost like an organogram of rating members, rating, maybe systems, blockchain, transparency, all those things. How long did it take you to do that? And have you found success with that? And what is the innovation moving forward with it?
So the bot is just correlations, and it's very good in altcoin market. It doesn't do well when the alts are coming down, because it's designed to pick alts, but it does very well when the alts go up. It's picking who's running in the altcoin bull section. It took me 3 months to code it. But then, I started cleaning it up and doing some more work, and now I re-architectured the memory of it, because before it was like all wiry when I build it myself, but now I've run through it, cleaned it up, and now the memory system is better. So now it's I have more of a path for doing experimental ROI patterns. So doing like different approaches to find the best ROI, and obviously that takes time, because it's going to take different outputs, like the standard outputs that it puts out with the correlations. And then it's going to have different ROI feeds. And those are going to be snapshots of the bot's picks. And we're going to analyze those after, you obviously need time to see how they perform. So that's one of the elements, right? So after time goes on, we'll find what ROI patterns work the best, and then isolate those and get rid of the ones that don't work and hone in on the ones that do, and then reiterate with different strategies. That's basically bot. It's an iterative approach to finding the best ROI with data. And in the future, it's going to have a visual component. Like in the past, when I made my channel, I did a visual breakdown of the projects using red, yellow, or green to make it simple. And I would say, oh, these are the different components of a project. Like this is red means it's a weak component, yellow means it's neutral, and green means it's a component that contributes. And so a project that's mostly green, it has the elements to be a successful project. Well, that's one of the things that is on my horizon to be built soon, is like where it'll be a research component for anyone who's has access to the bot. They'll click on a project like, let's say, Solana or whatever, and you'll see all the different projects, like the team, the structure of the token, and you'll see the breakdown of the project, and you'll see red, yellow, or green. And so you'll see how strong the project is, whatever project you're researching, if it's in a database, because the bot will predict, like it'll say this element is a winner component. This is a winner, or a weak component, or whatever. And so you can say, oh, this is a really strong project, and it's like helps you, on your journey. So that's one of the things that we're going to be building soon, where you have a visual component of what the bot's understanding from the math.
Very cool. So you're anybody in the community, that's holding the token is going to be able to access that?
Oh yeah, like that's a tier 1 membership. Like they'll get access, or you can subscribe. It's like $50 a month to subscribe to the bot.
Or you just hold the token?
Or you can just hold the token. Yeah,
cool.
The token
Wow.
gives you. You hold the token. It's free if you just hold the token and sell it when you're done. Like you could buy and sell, and it'd be like, oh, I want to see it today. I'll buy and sell. Whatever the transaction fees would be. But
that's very cool.
Yeah.
And speaking of transaction fees, Shawn, you mentioned something about the token. Just I think the ticker is INT. Where can people go to purchase the coin? And can you just tell us a bit about the tokenomics of the project? How did you guys come up? Because obviously you've dealt with dozens and dozens of projects, right? So obviously tokenomics is also a big indicator whether it's going to be successful down the line, or it's going to go high and just fizzle down. So how did you guys design your tokenomics? What's different about it? And just tell us a bit about that token burn again.
Yes, INT is the ticker symbol. It's located on the Arbitrum ecosystem, so it's Ethereum based. And as far as tokenomics,
it's also on Ethereum. It's on Ethereum and Arbitrum. I just wanted to correct that.
I'm sorry, Ethereum and Arbitrum, and there's 180,000 tokens available. So it's very scarce in nature. And the thing I like about it is, if you own the token, it's like owning equity in Intrepid Innovations, because as we do sales, as we make profit, as we generate income, it's not all about just making money for the team. We're going to take those tokens, we're going to take the profits, and a percentage of that is going to do burns on the token. So that's going to continually happen till we reach a certain level of market cap that we're targeting. And in the meantime, the potential for the return on investment for this token is absolutely insane when you look at it from its humble beginnings, being just a few cents. It went as high as $36 just from a little bit of action.
Sure.
And then it's been stable because those who own the token have been just maintaining the price between $4 and $5. Sometimes it goes $8, $9. But at the end of the day, this token is an absolute gold mine of opportunity. For just a little bit of traction can get this token to just shoot right on up and make some good gains and profits. So for those who are watching this, that's just how it is. And Mike, I'll let you elaborate because that was your puppy as well. So
Yeah, the token is designed for each phase of its path to changing dynamics to ensure that it's always a viable token model, even in higher market caps. From a lot of my research, the fastest way for people to accumulate wealth is through asset appreciation, and one of the reasons why that is because of taxes. Like if you're someone who has capital gains, or everyone earns an income or whatever, like the government takes its share, which is a big chunk, and mathematically speaking, that compounded destroys most of your profits. The compounded effects of taxes. So asset appreciation, simply just holding something year after year as it appreciates, is the fastest way to accumulate wealth. So the reason why we do token burns is so that community members will have the fastest possible asset appreciation, fastest possible path to wealth building by having the asset appreciate. The token go up in value. Because if we were to pay out dividends, then you're getting hit with a tax every single year on the dividends. So it's better. Just buy and burn is the ultimate. So I don't know why anyone would ever pay a dividend. Just buy your stock and burn it, because I know they do stock buybacks in the market. Same concept, and actually a lot of stocks do that because they actually get it now. So that's the reason why the buy and burn is built in, so that the revenues, as our services for the VC haven't gone live yet. We're actually about a couple days from launching the VC component, but our revenue is going to jump. I think on an order of 5 to 10x, maybe even 20x, and it's going to happen relatively quickly. So the burns that we have been doing are going to go up like tenfold when that happens. And so the DAO itself does have assets as well. When we invest in these seed rounds, whatever revenues, some component of them goes to owning assets. And if those assets explode in value, then it takes profits from those assets and buys and burns the token, or does some another investment or whatever. And when you're in the community, you can access that balance sheet of the DAO and see the DAO assets. One of the tokens, for instance, that we invested in, one of the bigger ones that we put in more of our allocation to, was Twin Protocol, and it's up 500%. So those kind of things allow for the DAO to grow on the asset component. So that's the token metrics are all designed for it to be a community of successful people over time, learning, growing, and accumulating value over. This is a lifetime thing, a lifetime entity, and striving together in the asset appreciation path at the fastest possible route that we designed it, that we believe is possible.
Michael,
that's excellent.
Sorry, Ryan. Just a quick side question on that. The token burn, is there a fixed actual value, like 3%, 2%, 1% of the profit of a project, or is it does it just go into the DAO, then you decide later to burn X amount?
If there's good projects coming up in the seed round, like a seed horizon, we'll probably take some of the profits and just reallocate to other seeds and just put them in the DAO's balance sheet. Right now, we're such a small market cap. Sometimes it's highly favorable just to do buy and burns, until we're at least a 10 million market cap or something like that. Because if our assets or cash flow ratio is super high to the market cap, there's no point in just adding it to the balance sheet. Might as well just do buy and burns, because many times when we do a buy and burn, it can increase the token's value like 20%. I think only a couple of $1,000 will do that. So that's why that's how we choose. It's now let's say the token runs, then what we'll do is if the assets or the cash flow becomes a small ratio, then we'll just go back to allocating to the seed rounds, or depending on cash flows, we hiring people, or it's just always reinvested.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
One thing to add in there, once the DAO assets mature, say a token just really pumps hard, then we take profit, and then we can do more buy and burns of the INT token, and those token holders benefit from the price increase of the DAO assets. And so we have if you look at our website, we have some very cool assets inside of our DAO. We have Twin Protocol, we have some Fieldburst. We have this amazing project. My number one pick, if everybody ever wanted one, was Hypercycle. And the list goes on, and that DAO is loaded with just gems that have not experienced a full bull market yet. So when those things, do what they're going to do, when the time is right, we'll, that's when the buy and burns occur, and then we all win on that side of the house as well.
Yeah, so far we have 16 seed rounds that we've done with our previous partners, and now we're doing the service ourselves because we built out the protocol for our VC arm. But we had 16 so far, and about 6 of them have had TGEs. But out of those 6, 2 have done extremely well. So that's good ratios. Those are good numbers. And obviously, we still have like 7 or 8 that have not had TGEs yet, but those are ones I'm really excited for as well. So yeah, it's the numbers look good so far, but obviously, we're with the bot. That's another thing I can mention is we have data on the open market, but we're also numbers crunching on the seed rounds arm, which is all kind of still fresh, because we've only been really doing it about a year and a half. But once we have, like I said, this is a lifelong company. Like it's going to keep going and going. So once we keep doing these seed rounds, we're going to have more and more data on what works for that. And that'll help us hone in on high ROI from that arm, from that department. Like, focusing in on the highest ROI based on the bot component that is seed round component. So we have the bot has been structured to now take in data from our seed rounds, in addition to our instincts, making calls on what we think is the best. Now we're going to have the data to help us as well.
Excellent. So is the token fully distributed then? It's fully distributed. Yes. There's no more vesting on your token or anything. Okay.
Yeah.
So the only way, so the burns happen through a buy. You're every time there's going to be a burn, you're buying off the open market and burning. Is that correct?
Yeah. And regarding the token balances, there's still a significant amount of tokens held by the team, but those things are meant for partnerships or whatever. Depending on whatever deals we do in the future, because we're gonna be next to a lot of these companies in the formation process, and that's kind of like one of our services as well, as we help launch projects, right? Like we can help launch the socials, we can help you launch your token and do all the social component. We could also help VCU, like with our team of investors, help start your company, especially since we're close to all the company's formation process. So the token itself is a mechanism for those partnerships in the future. Whatever is owned by the team, is for that.
No, that's excellent. When you say a DAO, do community members actually get a say in kind of the direction? Is there a voting structure as well?
Oh, absolutely. Like they get, everybody right now just communicates in our channels, but eventually it's all going to be run by smart contracts. It's not there yet. But once we're larger and we can get, more of a specific blockchain professional or whatever tools we need to fully implement a smart contracts based DAO, we'll go in that direction. It's in our objectives as eventually handing off the reins to, obviously in the beginning, you kind of want it to be focused and nimble, like when it's small, and when it's bigger, it'll run more like a traditional company, where the shareholders will just be the token holders.
Very cool.
All right, guys, looking forward to the roadmap and where Intrepid Innovations is going. Where do you see yourself in 2 to 3 years from now? I won't say 5 because in crypto 5 years is a tsunami. It's a lifetime. So where do you see you guys? Where do you hope to be? If you had a crystal ball and everything was going your way, where do you hope to see you guys and the community?
So let's imagine we're at 100 million market cap or something like that. We're going to buy real world assets. And like I said, it's like the token memberships are like a club, an exclusive access type thing, where we're going to have real world assets owned by the DAO, that will host events, help speakers, whatever. And we'll do things like cold plunge, sauna, because my background is in biotechnology. One of the reasons I helped found this company was it's a company starter, and it will see the patterns of company formation. It'll see what makes them successful, et cetera. And it'll allow me to also make the next company, which is one of my dreams as well, which is longevity. A company that is, my background is biotechnology, right? A company that aids in overall health, like the overall health rejuvenation field. So that will be one of the components that will be coming off this company as well, is like we'll be doing, health-based things and community-based things in the real world with community assets, and just a club of highly successful investors that have come to learn together and be a community of like-minded individuals that are navigating this world that is changing very rapidly. in like even in 2 years or 3 years time, there's something called AI agents. That's going to be a whole thing in of itself. We're all going to need to come together and manage humanity's approach on that, because that's like the amount of change that's happening. You're gonna want a club of sophisticated people to be around to navigate the world, because the amount of change that's coming is rapid and crazy, and that's the ultimate goal, is that we're all going to be here together to be strategic and make decisions together in the most, in the best way possible with the rapidly changing landscape of the world. So.
Yeah,
I love it.
and like you guys said earlier, you make a lot of cool friends when you're in a community, private community like this, and that's one of the things I'm excited about as we evolve and grow. We're going to have stuff like a crypto cruise opportunity for those. Might be 10, 15 people want to do it, or whatever it is. We'll plan for that type of stuff. Or it might be a cabin in crypto and go out there and just do some cool things. But at the end of the day, as technology advances and keeps us in somewhat way kind of separate, the things of real value is going to be nature and connection and communication and stuff like that. So when you're passionate about crypto, you just really love being around other people who's passionate about crypto. It's one of those things. You've ever been to a conference, and that is something definitely achievable, realistic. And what else are we going to do when we make all these gains by being first in all these opportunities? Something's going to hit. We only got to be right one time, and once we're right, we'll start advancing that roadmap to do those.
I'll just say one thing. This crypto is a place to be. Like, this is the place to be, because from my understanding is you have a $1 trillion market cap that's going to go to a $400 trillion market cap. Crypto is going to eat the world, and nothing in my 12 years of experience in the space has changed my mind on that. And I'm open to change. I'm open to see if there's anything that else could compete with crypto. But so few people understand this technology still. Like, so few people in the world still get the implication. Like, if you talk to the average person on the street, they either don't know what it is or they think it's a scam. That's crazy, because all it is technology that allows for people to do business in a different way. It's just programmable equities or programmable finance, which allows for novel business models, and it's just going to change how everything is run, the government, businesses, etc. And we're still at this tiny little sector where the whole world is still like. I remember there's an interview where they're like, it was before the internet. They're like, Suzanne, can you tell me what is the internet? What's that thing? That's kind of the same thing, right? Like, it's like it's this thing that no one really gets yet, but it's going to happen. And so it's the best place to be, man. Like, for anyone watching your channel, good, congratulations, you're in the right place. It's like you're in the right place at the right time. Yeah, just want to say that.
Absolutely,
Exciting
wholeheartedly
times.
agree there. So can you guys give us any juicy details about any upcoming projects you might have, or maybe some exclusive access that we might be able to give to the community here today?
So we have 2 seed rounds coming up. One is Bluebird, and the other is Ethics. And Bluebird is like like they are real world asset tokenization. They work with I think it was Goldman Sachs was one of their partners. And they're helping those entities, the traditional bank entities, tokenize the real world, like tokenize gold, tokenize securities, futures contracts. It's massive. Yep. So that's one of the opportunities coming up.
Yeah, we just had Bluebird on a few, maybe a month ago or so. So we did a pretty good interview with them. And if you guys didn't see it, get out there and take a look at it, because you might have an opportunity here. It looks
exactly. Yeah. So you'll get access to Bluebird. And Shawn knows more about Ethics. I haven't had a chance to review that one much, but I'll let Shawn talk in a minute. But it's basically using Web3 for advertising and gaming. But Shawn, you know more about it than me. So
you just nailed it. So Web3 gaming, and they have access to advertisements, and there's profit flow behind the scenes. But one thing, when we invest in these projects, we focus. We're not investing in just the technology. We're not investing in just the pitch deck or the white paper. We're investing in human capital. And one thing I like about Ethics is when you look at the founder of that opportunity, he helped invent the Web3 gaming industry, and he's moving and shaking with all the people who matter in the industry. He knows almost everybody. So his ability to network, market, and actually not only bring this project to fruition, but he's also going to be able to have the ability, a high propensity to make it get user, mass adoption to some degree. So, so that's what I like about all these projects. They have an actual use case. If they're going to get past our vetting standards, we got to look you in the eye and see your face. But you also have to have a tangible product that we can touch and feel and use and imagine ourselves benefiting from to some degree, so we can, act on behalf of the investor that we're going to bring opportunity for. So, yeah, I'm excited about those two opportunities. And on a weekly basis, we're constantly vetting projects, and we can't get them all, but we'll get the ones that represent the cream of the crop.
Excellent. And you mentioned you might be able to do a little teaser, little exclusive access for our community here. Could you talk about that a second?
All right, so we have a program that allows for everyone to get an airdrop. Basically, what if they provide to you guys, if you can gather a list of people who provide their Arbitrum address and their Discord name, and if they join our Discord and just leave a comment, we'll do them together and do an airdrop to them. What it will do is that airdrop will allow for them to get access to our services and see everything. Like, they won't be able to comment, but they'll be able to see it all. And then they'll get a $500 allocation, one-time allocation to one of our seed rounds. They can just watch this allocations come by. But then if they see one they really like, they can just throw the $500, and it allows for people to experience what we're doing. So, and once you experience it, with a little bit, like tip your toe in the water, you see the experience of everyone involved, then you'll understand and get how this works and how it's the ballpark way of hitting home runs. So one Intrepid token airdrop, and that we built out a system so that airdrop will allow for them to do that, experience that.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Great, guys. Thank you very, very much for that. And just to recap on that, guys, so we'll send a link down on the bottom of the Google Sheet. Fill in the Google Sheet, your Discord details, as well as your Arbitrum address. We're going to send a little video of how to just create that little address or how to get it, so for those newbies out there. And then you sit and you watch, and if a project really sparks your liking, let's just say Bluebird, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Corey and the team are geniuses at marketing, so that might actually be your best bet. Get your toe in the water and have a little bit of a nibble there and see what happens. But you don't have to go full force into it. It's a safe way to put in there and to try out the system. So it's a fantastic opportunity, because these gated communities cost thousands and thousands of dollars to get in. At least you can try, and if you're happy, go buy the token. Remember, when you're buying the token, obviously buy to buy and obviously buy to sell later on. So you're having the best of both. You're still in the community, but you're trading as well back and forth.
All right, Shawn, I would like to mix in there. Yes. Do not hesitate to ask a question once you get on the Discord. We'll respond right back and make sure you stay straight, because we don't know what level of background, but don't hesitate to ask. And then no question is a bad question. So,
and we'll provide our Discord too, like with that, so they know to join the Discord and just leave a comment or whatever. And that's why our spreadsheet, when we're doing the airdrop, we'll see who's did both. And then we'll airdrop.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, guys, to end off, most importantly, and we'll start with Shawn and then go on to Michael. What is your best golden advice? Short, sweet, powerful bit of advice that how not to get wrecked into crypto. So someone out there that's now, I'm excited. What are we going to do? What is your best advice for someone out there?
Yeah, things that come to mind, because that's obviously, you can take that question a lot of different directions. And so don't be a lone wolf. Don't be a lone wolf. Everything great happens in a team. Mm. So I would highly recommend be a part of a community that is engaged and passionate and knowledgeable. That's one thing about this community. People follow the leader. And you hear Mike speak. He's very technically savvy. So what do you think most of his community is? These guys are sharp. And that's what I love about it, because I'm learning. We all learn from each other. And, that's one thing. So definitely be a part of a good, solid community, because guess what? You can ask questions that's on your mind. And we want you to ask as many questions. It's like a free consultant service. You're surrounded by a lot of sharp guys. So iron sharpens iron. And then the second thing, just to give something specific, because security, you don't want to lose your money. And as every day that passes, these hackers and these people with no conscience, they get smarter and smarter, and they find creative ways to take your money. So I want anybody out there that's using MetaMask, they should have a disclaimer. And I got this from Mike, but I'm because of my hacking experience, I'm gonna say it this way. So anybody that's using MetaMask, they should have an actual disclaimer on there. Do not use MetaMask without a ledger or some type of hard wallet. Otherwise, it's just a matter of the hacker focuses on you or not, because they can find a way to get into that. And just because you haven't been hacked, don't take that for granted. Get a ledger. So if you're hearing this and you don't have one, get a ledger and start interfacing and experiencing MetaMask and these other cold wallets in that type of manner. And then at the end of the day, I also say we all invest for making money. So take profit. Do not hesitate to take profit when you have the opportunity to do so. Don't chase the moon. Nobody can breathe on the moon. Just be happy when you get a certain altitude, so you can jump off that plane in a parachute and land safely with a bag of money in your hand. And then last but not least, I got to throw this in because it's been on my mind. Be internally driven. You don't want to be, if the market goes up, then you get happy and hype, and that's good. But when the market goes down, don't crash down with the market. Be internally driven. Focus on your character. Desire for more patience. Desire for more, just honesty, and just the things that represent, being a good person. The money will come naturally. So, on that note, that's what I got.
Excellent. Great advice. What about you, Michael? Did Shawn steal all your ideas there, or you got any?
It's funny because you mentioned the exact same thing. I was like, what's going to be the formula of success? So I'll just tell you, like, it's a quick thing. So yeah, join a community, man. Like, join a community and takes security seriously, and be patient. With your strategy. Investing is a long-term game. It's about taking asymmetric bets and having an edge. So there's all the things that you need to be highly successful in investing into crypto. And you do all those things, especially where this whole industry, like, even if you have, like, not the best portfolio in the world, you're still going to kind of do better than anything else, because we're going from $1 trillion to a $400 trillion industry. So, and the other thing is if you see yourself hitting home runs and the world's going in your favor and, everything's green and it's all fantastic, like the world is just saying you're a genius, that's the time when you want to walk away.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's normally everybody else is walking away from you because they're tired of your bullshit. All right, guys, thank you for some great advice. And I think just to reiterate on Shawn's comment about being a lone wolf, things are better in packs. There's buffaloes are safer in packs. Lions have packs. Orchids hunt great white sharks in packs. So, and often in the space that it's impossible to know it all. And don't be shy if you don't know something. Just ask the question. Lean on those who do know. And find those who actually don't mind explaining, or listen to crypto shows like Dad's Gone Crypto, and get some advice about that. Because when you start to empower yourself with knowledge, the world opens up. You see it through a different lens, and that's when you can see opportunities start to arise once you obviously improve your knowledge base. So don't just stay out there and be it alone or go it alone. It can be very dark out there. And then just to reiterate again, take security incredibly seriously, because everybody on this channel has been somehow hacked, or there's coins stolen, or in some form or shape, because we got too smart, we didn't take security seriously, and so forth. So take security seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. I really hope a lot of you take the opportunity to get in and take a look at Intrepid's community out there. Like they're saying, you don't want to be a lone wolf. You've got Dad's Gone Crypto behind you, but at the same time, get in there, join another community, and you might just learn something.
Guys, and this has been one heck of a insightful session. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Shawn, for joining us and breaking down the Intrepid Innovations in a new way of which venture capital in a crowdfunding source way is being delivered. And thank you for coming on the show and just explaining to our community. And if you want to know more about it, please, guys, visit Intrepid. All the details will be down below, as well as that Google link where you put your details in for that free airdrop for that great opportunity. And yeah.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, guys. It was great having you here. Hey, guys, don't forget, you want to keep seeing great projects like Intrepid. Don't forget to like and subscribe and help us build the channel. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. It was really great having you on the show.
Absolute
Nice to meet you both, and can't wait to work with you in the future.
Glad to be here.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot, guys.
The material and information presented in this recording are for entertainment purposes only. Do not misconstrue what you hear as investment or trading advice. Always do your own research. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by the guests on this recording are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of Dad's Gone Crypto or its hosts.